But again, the missing variable.
The war.
Condemnation of war crimes is not dehumanization. Refusal to normalize an invasion is not hatred. The anger exists because of the violence, not the ethnicity.
So the backlash is tied to the actions on the ground.
Completely. If you remove the violence, if you remove the war, the hostility he is experiencing changes entirely. It is contingent on the aggression.
He ends the video on a very personal note. And I think this is where the emotional weight of his argument really sits. He mentions he is married to a Russian woman. He says his children will be Russian.
Right.
And he says it saddens him to think that his kids will grow up in a world with such hatred and vitriol towards them over something they can't control.
That is a very human fear. Any parent can relate to that. He is worried about his children's future.
He's looking at this future liability, essentially.
Yes. But as the auditor, I have to look at where that liability actually comes from. He thinks the liability is the YouTube comment section. He thinks the threat to his children is Western hatred.
And you disagree?
Fundamentally. I would respond calmly to his concern and say the greatest threat to his children's future and to all Russian children's futures is not Western comments. It is the decision of the Russian state to wage a war of aggression.
Because actions have long-term consequences.
War generates backlash. Backlash generates reputational damage. Reputation follows action. By blaming the Russophobes, he is blaming the mirror for the reflection.
He is worried his children will be pariahs.
But who made them pariahs? Was it the people pointing at the smoke, or was it the people who started the fire? The Russian state has spent 4 years dismantling the international standing of the nation. The vitriol he fears is a direct result of the policies he refuses to name.
It really does come back to that missing variable every single time. You try to solve the equation without it, and you just get errors.
You get a diagnosis of a sickness that doesn't exist.
So let's wrap this up. If we summarize our audit findings of this video, Russophobia is a sickness. What is the final verdict?
We return to the core line. It is not Russophobia. It is recoil. When missiles cross borders, language changes. When cities are bombed, perception changes. When aggression continues for 4 years, trust collapses.
The auditor's bottom line.
Exactly. If you want the recoil to stop, you must address the force that caused it. There is no need for insults or shouting, just a firm look at the unresolved liability, which is the war.
And until that liability is cleared, the audit will never balance. That is a wrap on this deep dive. As always, when you're scrolling through your feed and you see these narratives, ask yourself, what is the missing variable?
What aren't they showing you?
Before we go, consider this. If an entire nation's defense against criticism relies on diagnosing the rest of the world with a mental illness, what happens when the domestic audience eventually demands a second opinion? Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next one.